What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? I know it's been a little while since our last video. Now, there really hasn't been that much going on in the world of King of Fighters All-Star since the last big PvE Immortal Victor update. So this last update brought some new additions, some long-awaited new characters, and a brand new Dungeon of Trials dungeon, which we are going to run through right now. So I really do like the boss designs for these endgame dungeons, but if we look at the leaderboard here, we see a lot of the same names as we see on the Immortal Victor top players list. Obviously, they're all cheaters, and unfortunately, they're allowed to persist. So the scores in this range, they're all legit. We've seen a big score of 160 mil plus from one of the big Japanese accounts, but these dungeons are clearly tuned for future updates. All right, let's roll out. So this boss here, like most of the endgame PvE content in King of Fighters All-Stars, boils down to a DPS race. So this boss basically has two phases. It has the armor phase where it requires either chill or shock damage to break the armor. And then once the armor is broken, it goes into this break phase here where it takes full damage from your attacks. So if you don't break the armor with either a chill or a shock, it takes reduced damage at a greatly reduced rate. So because this is a DPS race, we want to do as much damage as possible in the time allotted, and we accomplish this by cycling through our 5 characters early on and dumping all of their big skills on the boss once we break that initial armor with the chill or the shock. We know that once the boss stands back up, it's going to require a chill or a shock to break that armor again, and that will be displayed on the screen. It'll say increased damage from chill or from shock, and at that point you have to select a fighter who either has the chill or shock damage to break the armor. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit because it does get a little repetitive. You just really have to pay careful attention to whether or not the boss needs a chill or a shock to break the armor to continue DPSing. Alright, so once this run is over, I'll pop back in and go over the characters and the cards and the rationale. Alright, so that was fun. 103 mil is pretty much my highest. I don't have the imprints or the max levels on all of my characters to push much further than that right now. And unfortunately, the rewards for anything lower than Diamond tier are pretty disappointing. So I've tried multiple combinations of characters just to see what works best for me, and I've kind of settled on this because these are my highest level characters with the best imprint stones that I have available. The weakness is great. He's got the shock damage on his S3, obviously a Tekken set, and the Christmas crit card here is severely underrated. It was added in the last major update with Silent Night Elizabeth, and it is a great card. It grants 15% critical damage. So next up is Nameless. He's a PvE monster, does a ton of DPS. He's got the super long animation on his 3PG skill, and I have him equipped with the Serving as Miserable card because it grants chill damage, which allows you to alternate between the characters to break the armor on this boss. Nameless is also one of the characters that I invested heavily on the imprint stones just because he's so useful in so many situations. So I've got the plus 10 power gain imprint, and I've got the one that decreases cooldowns when you're hitting a burned, poison, or bleeding target. Kintoki is another character that I really like from the Gintama collaboration. He's very versatile, he does a ton of DPS. So we've got him rocking the R stone from Immortal Victor. We also have him rocking that PG gain stone, which is extremely useful, and that cooldown reduction on the bleeding targets. We've also got him using the chill damage option card because if the character is not inherently doing chill or shock damage, he's really not that useful in this dungeon. Next up, my OG favorite character in this game, God Geese. Of course, he's in a Tekken set, and you can say, oh, he's using a Tekken set. Well, if you had a Tekken set, you would use it too, I guarantee you. So I've got the bow option card here on Geese also because of the attack bonus and the shock damage bonus. I didn't really feel the need for cooldown reduction cards because you're swapping out characters so fast, and most of your damage is being done while they're awakened, so the cooldowns are fast anyway. So finally, Garnets, who in my opinion should be in every team possible. He's just ridiculous. He's also got the chill damage card because he inherently doesn't do chill or shock damage. But when you add the imprint stones from Immortal Victor that grant bonus attack, bonus HP, and the bleed damage while awakened, he turns into an absolute monster. So that does it for the team comp and the cards. Unfortunately, that Serving as Miserable Halloween card is not available in the exchange, so it might be a good idea to select it as a pickup. So because I had the 3 chill damage option cards from Halloween available, and I had the 2 fighters who do shock damage, I went with strikers who I felt had better relation effects for this dungeon. So for you guys who don't have those options available, you can select strikers who either do chill or shock damage, and you can utilize them when it's time to break the boss's armor. So this dungeon is definitely tuned for some kind of future update coming from Netmarble, probably one of the leaked future awakening updates that will increase the character levels and the CP. So hopefully you guys found this helpful, and hopefully this helps you push a little further in this dungeon. If there's anything else you guys want to see, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.